Here's why strategy is so important when you're investing in property. So we build a lot of second dwellings on existing assets to dramatically increase the rental income that asset produces. We call it the yield acceleration method. And what a lot of people think is that when you are doing work on that property, by building a second dwelling naturally on the same block of land, that because of that reason, you will not be able to generate rental income from the existing dwelling on the site, which makes sense. But if you have the right asset management team and the right construction team, and you are getting the right advice, there is no reason why you can't rent out the existing dwelling at nearly full rent while you are doing the work to the property and you don't interfere with the tenants whatsoever. So when we are building a second dwelling on a block, before we start building that second dwelling, once it is approved, we fence off the front dwelling from the rear as if it was already there. So the tenant that is in the existing dwelling has a rear fence line, and it essentially acts like their boundary line as if they had any other neighbor. Now, once the tenant is in there, they understand the property that they are renting, we can then go through and build the second dwelling, have no impact on the front tenant, have no impact on the income that comes off that asset while we are building the second dwelling. And then once that second dwelling is built, we can naturally go through and rent out that property as well and have two rental incomes coming off the one property. But the key to being able to do that is the strategy up front. Knowing before that you put a tenant into a property for a 12-month lease, that you need to strategize around what you are going to do to that asset over the next 12 months. Because if you get 6 months down the path and want to start building or doing some work to the property that's going to interfere with the tenant in the front, it's not going to be possible. And just for context, this can mean the difference between $25,000 and $50,000 or $60,000 a year in lost rental income if the strategy is not thought of correctly.